Hello, I'm Christy Rees. Hi, Dr. Gromlick. This is my assignment for 2.1 Curriculum Experience Deep Dive Presentation. And this is going to be about SPED parent resources. It's an idea that I've been playing around with a little bit for a couple months. And I'd love to hear your feedback and next steps, definitely. So, the idea has come about as for many years sitting in IEP meetings. I'm a special ed teacher and hearing parents just one question after another. How do I support my child, my exceptional child, in science and social studies and other gen ed type courses or classes? And so the problem that is presented is that many of my students have learning disabilities, they have dyslexia, and they are on a reading level that is far below what the curriculum is written for science and social studies. So it's very difficult for them to comprehend, to understand, to respond to passages, and really kind of be functional in the class and understand thoroughly what's going on. So the parents they're a little bit mystified. Where do we find the information? How do I help my child study? How do I make this curriculum mean anything to them? And I want it to be a digital presence for sure, but some of it is going to have to be, of course, face to face and paper and that type of thing. But what I want to present to you is kind of two parts of the picture. So, two problems that I'm kind of seeing in my observations and possible solutions. So, here we go. So, problem one is all about how do the parents see the information, the same information that their students are seeing during the school day. It comes down to Google Classroom for us. That's where us teachers, we put everything, our learning plans, which are our lesson plans. We put our homework there. We put resources there. Everything is there in Google Classroom. And of course, there are multiple classrooms. So one student may have 5 or 6 different Google Classrooms that they're keeping up with. But when they open up their Chromebook, it becomes second nature for them. But when the parents are asking questions, they still, maybe through October, November, if they haven't looked at their child's Chromebook in Google Classroom, they're still going to have a lot of questions. So, how to access their child's Google Classrooms, how to look for the information, how to find homework, also, we're emailing each other all these questions. The parents may send an email to myself, to the gen ed teachers, but it's very much of a one-way communication. And so the communication is slow, and not that we're responding slowly, but it's not a virtual conversation or a person-to-person conversation. So some possible solutions. So the beginning of the year, our school does have, of course, an open house night, but this can be a little hectic for my parents because they are kind of strapped between going to the gen ed teachers and then coming to visit our resource staff. And they always have, it seems, not enough time to spend with us. So one thing, of course, this isn't digital, but to have some kind of sweet open house so that they can sit down, open their child's Chromebook, and we can show them and kind of give them a guided tour of what Google Classroom is all about so they feel comfortable getting to that information, as well as the different applications that their student uses during the day. Thinking of also going with the digital platform, doing Google meetings that are just for all parents to answer general questions at certain times through the first couple months or so. Also, doing some Google office hours or Google Meet office hours that may be for parents that can't come during the school day, or back when we did all this in COVID, but it was so focused on teacher and students. But why not do teacher and parent in that way? We did a lot of IEP meetings that way, but it would be great to do office hours with parents and answer some of those questions instead of that one-way communication with email. So that's kind of an idea I have on that. I also was thinking about creating some type of website. I was kind of thinking about Facebook, but it's not where I want to go because I don't want to just post. And anyway, so the website idea is that it would be a resource, IEP resources and terminology that parents may not be familiar with when they're maybe the first time coming to an IEP meeting or not first time. And it would probably be very specific to Louisiana, maybe even St. Tammany Parish, where I'm teaching. It would include local, state, federal resources, laws, acts that are currently being adopted, curriculum resources that we use in the classroom at our school, maybe some local workshop type resources, and even links to Facebook groups that may be helpful to parents as well. So the second problem is more about the curriculum itself. So how can parents support their children with exceptionalities to learn grade level curriculum? A lot of parents are asking questions, what are they studying, first of all? When does it change? How many units are there in science and social studies? Where is this information? It may or may not be in their binder. It may or may not be in their planner that they're supposed to be writing down information. Some of my students have trouble with writing down in the planners due to their modality. So we make copies of things for them. But it's very, we have a system at school, but by the time it gets home, sometimes my students have a hard time communicating exactly what is going on in those classes. So, number one, how can we break down the social studies and science units to help them understand and review at home with their children? Typically, my students are failing maybe a D science and social studies tests. A C would be wonderful, but in most cases it's D or F because the terminology, the curriculum, the responses are way above their reading level, and they are just not ready for that. But they have to be taught grade level curriculum. The one idea that I'm playing around with is to create a short parent letter for each unit in social studies and science. And also, after the parent letter, would be a consolidated outline that would have the most important information, keywords, key people, dates, key science concepts, and those types of things for the parents and the kids to focus on. Now, of course, that could go home as paper-based, but also it would be great for it to be digital as well, and also interactive. So I was thinking in the outline could be places for family activities to help build knowledge background on those unit topics, and additional resources and links so that if they're learning about cell structure, they could have links and whatnot that I've gotten from even the gen ed teachers and infuse that into that outline. So that would be paper, but also I'm thinking more digital based so that the parents can see that. And that could be on my Google Classroom to help support them in social studies and science. So that ended up being a little bit longer than I had planned. I hope you don't mind. I had too much to say, I guess. I did make it in Google Vids, and this is my second full video I've done in it, and I'm enjoying the product. It's good. We just were given complete access at our school, and so I can use that. But anyway, that's it, and I am looking forward to talking with you more about it.